Hi, John. How's it going? Yeah, I posted that video about, I don't know, 8 o'clock this morning. I heard my son playing this game, and that's how I woke up.
And I don't know.
You been working on anything?
I'm playing with Slicer software right now, trying to plan my first print.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I was checking that reach stream out, and it's unlimited, eh? For how many hours? Hi, John. Hi, Steve.
What's happening? Hey, Steve.
Who's got the loud music going in the background?
You know it's Steve. Steve
No, it's not. Where is that? Just a minute. Where the hell is that?
What's the I couldn't find a baseball game?
It sounds like a circus.
Oh, I don't know what it
Hobby
was.
Barn.
Something on Facebook.
Hobby Barn, man, the wizard.
You're the
Hi,
wizard.
Terry. Hi,
Hey,
Terry.
John.
What's up, Plastic
Hey,
Monkey?
John.
Hey, Mike.
So, Mopar, you missed it by one number, eh?
No big deal. Hey, Michelle's a good
No.
person. She should.
Might as
Good.
well be a mile.
I hope she picks something that you can't build so good.
Oh, you know, she wants me to surprise her, so
Oh wow. Let you
She
all
wanted
easy
me
that one.
she wanted me to give her the red alert Chevelle kit. I have
Oh.
my dad. I wasn't gonna do that. I don't think so. The
Hey,
thing
That
Hey,
was
is,
too
Miguel.
much to ask for. Huh?
what's that?
That was too much to ask for.
Well, no, I said a build up or I built you something or whatever. Well, I'll throw a few things in there.
I would give it up anyway.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
So how's Miguel doing with his 3D printing?
Hey, Mike.
I don't know.
Who?
I think he's working with Blender or something.
You should ask him.
He's right there. I don't
Who?
know why he's not answering.
Hey, Rick.
You haven't asked him yet.
I said, how you doing with the 3D printer?
No, you said, I wonder how Miguel's doing.
Well, I'm thinking you're listening.
I am listening.
See, here we go. It's convoluted now. Come on, Devil Doggy. What's up?
What's going on?
There's the other one. You're up
Hey,
yeah.
3D crime.
So, Steve, do you have to get a passport stating that you had both shots to go in the restaurants and all that stuff now?
We won't know probably for a couple more weeks.
No, we're gonna know on Tuesday.
Yeah. You know, I there was something I read this morning. I don't know where it was, Facebook or something, but I didn't pay much attention to it.
Yeah,
It doesn't bother me any.
Don't worry,
no, but
John.
I mean for people that can't take the shot, like, for health reasons or whatever, like that's preventing people. Yeah, it's taking away your rights, I think, personally.
Well,
Yep.
the thing is that if you own a business, you have the right to refuse anybody entry for any reason. You don't have to even give them the reason.
Again,
Yeah.
don't bake your cake.
Because I was refused entry to a hobby shop, And we already went through that story, so.
Well, hey, I've always thought that you could refuse to work for anybody you want. I mean, well, I should be able to choose who I want to work for, right?
Well, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Ain't nobody making you.
Not under certain circumstances. You will have to. Okay, well, I have to do this for you. Yeah.
Well,
You always quit.
you mean if you're working at a job and somebody comes along and says, well, you have to do this.
No, I mean I got my own private business, and because I turn down a job, they might come up. Well, that's because I'm this or because I'm that special group or that special group. No, sorry, I choose who I want to work for. It doesn't matter what group you're in. That's not allowed.
Well, I don't know.
Hi, Rick.
Hey,
Looks
John,
like you
how you
just
doing?
woke up. It looks like you
Yeah.
just woke up.
I've been awake for a little while. It's been a real chaotic week right now with all this crap going on right now. I
Yeah.
haven't got a lot of sleep throughout the entire week. It's been just really stressful.
Oh, the job. Your job.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
with all the COVID stuff going on and the news regulations that are coming out. I've been pretty
Yeah.
much just hammered.
It's
at
getting
work.
bad here too, Rick. Now they want you to prove that you got the vaccine shot. Otherwise, you can't get a haircut. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't go to the gym. A lot of
Yeah.
things you can't do.
That's
Like
what they're,
that is taking your rights away.
they're
Personally.
actually starting.
Haven't you?
They've done that in San Francisco, and they are trying to get that passed here in this city, and it's pretty much be going. It's going to be the end goal for California is they want the entire state to be to where you can't go anywhere without having your vaccination card, and everywhere's going to ask you if you have it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how California goes is how everybody else is going to go.
Just another form of ID to get in.
Yeah, pretty much it's going to be like a driver's
Except
license.
you don't
Like,
need one to vote for.
you
You
gotta
don't
have
need
it
one
to-
to vote though.
you'll have to have it to go out your front door, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go vote with no problem. You don't need any ID.
Yeah. So it's just it's been crazy, man. I mean, I just been
Wow.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, my
I
wife's
don't
getting.
know where anyway.
I got the
Well-
motor in.
ooh,
Yeah, that's nice.
that does look nice.
Yeah.
Did you use aluminum for that that firewall?
I use a printer plate from a newspaper company.
Okay. That's something I know you're telling me about that last couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where you get it now. Yeah, you used to get it at the printing shops, but you can't get it there anymore because they recycle it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
Johnny.
Hi,
You know,
Johnny.
Johnny,
Hey,
what's
Johnny.
up?
I took a page from Miguel, and I'm saving some aluminum cans I have. I'm going to make sheets out of them to use for whatever I need for aluminum for. So
Nice.
tell my wife, I said, save some aluminum cans for me. I'm going to cut them into flat pieces of sheet aluminum.
Hey, Rick.
Mm.
So when I'm in a slicer program, would your intuition tell you that? Oh shit! What did I just do? That if it's red shaded, that means I can't put a support there, or that I should put a support there.
Usually red when it comes to slicing programs indicates it's needing support.
Okay. When I add a support, it doesn't change colors.
Could you try after you add the support? Could you try reslicing it again to see if it?
I
like,
haven't
refreshes it?
sliced it yet. I'm just in the support adding step.
What slicer program are you using?
Photon Workshop.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that one at all, so I don't know if the red on that. I know on like Kira, red
Uh-huh.
means support.
See, I was going to use Kira, but because you told me about Kira like several weeks ago, but it doesn't support the printer I have.
What kind of
That's what I was saying when you bought it.
your printer should come with its own slicer program? Is it a resin printer?
Yeah, it's the one I'm using.
The resin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that when you get that that chip that has like the test files on it.
Yeah.
It should have its own independent slicing
Yeah,
program.
it's Photon Workshop. That's what I'm using.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. You see, on mine, on my slicing program for my resin printer, red means support.
Okay.
It may not change. It may just show you the indication, but it may not change the color. It's just giving you the location where supports are needed.
Okay, what other slicing programs are there? What, is that Chitu or something? Is that a slicing?
The one I use is Chichubox, and that's
Yeah,
what.
that one. That one.
Yeah, that's a good one too. There's also there's a couple other free ones that you can get if you look
Okay.
do a search for resin printer slicer programs. There's a couple other ones that are free, but Chichubox is pretty good. And
I got one more question, Rick.
yes,
When you buy a file and it comes as a certain file, a stir file, I can't remember the name, right?
hmm
How important is it that you get the correct file, the
um,
program or whatever?
well, the slicer program may only support a certain type of file. So
Okay,
if it only supports STL files, then
right.
it really
It
should
has
be
to
an
be an
STL file.
STL.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
90% of your printers run STL files. There is a couple that have there's a different file type, and it
Right,
can be printable, but it's harder for the slicer program to read it, and sometimes will not read it at all.
right. That's why they ask if you want to convert it.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
and
Okay.
the norm usually is STL. That's usually
STL
Agree
is the
right now.
norm. Okay,
uh,
cool. That way, when I go buy files, I'll know exactly that I'm getting something that's going to work on the printer.
right. Yeah. Just make sure whatever printer you have, make sure that the slicing program for that printer supports the STLs or whatever files it
Yeah.
supports, and then go for those types of files.
Now, question to Double Dog: does the Anycubic support the STL?
Yeah,
It should.
almost all printers should support STLs.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I think they all actually do. That's
All
the
right. Just
standard.
making sure because I don't want to purchase something that I can't use.
No, you should. You should. I know my Miguel's printer and my printer. They're both resin printers. They're just different brands, but both
Right.
of ours support STL files.
Yeah, because I was looking at a complete Hemi motor, and it comes in 7 different files for like $20. And I was gonna buy it, but I figured I have to. I want to make sure that I get the right thing.
Yeah, just make sure whatever printer you have and I mean, it most likely does support STL files. Like my
Yeah.
resin printer does
I
STL
agree,
files.
man.
I'm still up in the air on which one I want to buy because I'm between the Elugo Mars whatever Pro I think it is
Yeah,
and the Anycubic.
both are good printers. I mean, I have the Lego Mars 2, and it runs great. I mean, most what you're going to find in the printing community is resin printers are all basically the same type of printer. Just some have more gadgets and gadgets than others,
It seems like
and
the,
others.
the bed leveling is a difference too. There's a big
Well,
difference
they're
in
way
bed
different,
leveling.
yeah. But the bed leveling on a resin printer is so much easier than on a FDM printer because on
Okay.
resin, all you have to do is put a piece of paper between the screen and the
Hi,
print
Mary.
bed, lower
Hi,
it,
Rusty.
uh, and if that paper is nice and tight between the plate and the screen, you're fine. Lock it down and then raise it back up.
Oh, okay.
And a trick, I'm not sure, Miguel, you do this or not, but a trick I learned through watching YouTube videos was it's good to put like a, I think you can use like what John told me to get for my airbrush, the super lube can be used on this, is put a little bit on a rag or a towel and just wipe the reservoir, the clear plastic
Oh
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
inside.
I saw Uncle Jesse do that.
Yeah, do that
Yeah.
because what happens is that ensures the fact that that will not stick to that plate and break it and destroy. So if that thing breaks during printing, you have got a problems. You're gonna have a lot of problems. You don't want that
What
to break.
breaks? What are you talking about?
But is it
The
replaceable?
Yes, it is replaceable, but you don't want a mess of resin all over your machine.
Right,
It's
right.
the clear film on your reservoir that the
What do
exposure
you
light,
What do you want to spray on it?
some kind of lubricant. It helps release from that because some printers it likes to stick to that clear film,
And it'll
um,
break.
and this will help stop it from sticking, so it just has a clean break free and sticks to the build plate and not the
Yeah,
clear
check
film.
out Uncle Jesse. He does a thing about it, and
Yep.
he uses some. I can't remember the chemical he used, but he swears by it.
Yeah, you can use a multiple different types. I'm actually going to start using the stuff that John told me to get for my airbrush because it's a lubricant and that should work well too. But
What stuff?
Then you
It's,
got the the IPA filtering.
The super lube that's for the tips of the airbrushes that John
Yeah,
talked about getting.
Badger
Yeah,
makes it.
yeah. I'm gonna try, and it doesn't take a lot. All you need is a few drops,
Right.
just to
This
give a nice
one,
thin coat.
this one, John. Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's cool. I got some of that in the what do you call it, paint, full size paint stuff. Same stuff.
Don't use the Awada loop because it's
Oh
almost
no,
like
no,
glue.
no,
It's
not,
like glue.
it's the double bis. The
And actually,
Vilbis lube.
Mopar, you can even use 3-in-1 oil.
Well, that's what I think he was using, but I'm not sure if it's in a blue can, so I gotta go look at it again.
Yeah, I was using 3-in-1 oil for a while, and it worked really good.
Yeah, 3-in-1's pretty good for that because it's not really petroleum based.
Right.
It's not as heavy.
The main thing you want to just be sure of is just you want that clear film to stay pristine, not scratched. And there's ways to peel off prints that stick to it without scraping it. Just you don't want to scratch it.
Okay.
Well,
And
talk
if it
to
does,
her. I'm
and if it does
alive.
scratch, you can buy more film, and there's tutorials
Well,
on how to
I'll
replace
call
it.
back later.
It's pretty easy.
Cool. Yeah, I plan to do a lot of wheels and a lot of valve covers.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be replacing my clear film on mine here soon because it's kind of worn and starting to get a little scratched
How
up.
long have you been using it?
I've been using it pretty much religiously ever since I got it. So it's taken a little bit of abuse. But you can buy a pack of those films.
Steve, I got a question for you. What degreaser do you use for your mold making?
I don't use any.
You don't use any at all?
Well, I don't
Not
make
on
a
the
two-piece.
mold.
I don't make a two-piece mold. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So if you're using smooth on, the smooth on I have, I've never had a problem getting anything out of the mold. Now
Okay.
it depends on what you're molding. Obviously, if you're molding something like a valve cover, there's not much of it. There's no relief that's going to get stuck in the mold.
Yeah, I'm making tires.
Well, tires, there'd be nothing to stick in the mold there. But if you're making the mold out of two pieces, right? Then
Yeah.
you have to put something between the both pieces of the mold material.
Well, you
Yeah,
can use a
yeah.
regular mold release, can't you, Steve?
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah,
spray on mold release.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pam.
I've got
Take a little Pam and it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
it'll
Pam does work.
I was going to use Vaseline.
Well, you can use Vaseline. The stuff here is
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get it to stand up straight or not.
Yeah.
See, I used to have to use a mold release, and I worked in the injection mold industry when we did it.
Yeah.
When we did the big door panels for cars, we had to
Yeah.
spray down both parts because it's a two-part mold that clamps.
Yeah,
clamshell.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that gets
We had to,
injected.
we had to use a mold release on all those molds to make sure those parts really just pop right off when the mold open up.
Yeah, I've never had them. Like I use for my mold, which I got to buy some more because the resin's gone. But I use that's what I'm using.
Yep, that's what I usually use when I make my molds.
Yeah.
I figure the only thing you got to clean off is the part if it has any mold release. I mean,
But
that's-
there's nothing.
that's it.
Nothing has ever stuck. None of the mold release or none of the mold material has ever stuck to any parts unless the mold the original piece or the piece that you're molding has some type of a relief in it so that it gets caught in the mold.
Right.
And that way that would tear your mold apart.
Right.
That's the only thing. Like,
But
you know, like,
I'm thinking the only thing you have to clean is the part itself. The mold is still good.
yeah, and all I do is wash them off in soap and water,
Yeah, that's what I figured.
and
Just
then
like you
spray,
do
then
sorry,
spray
Steve.
primer on them, and that's it.
Yeah, it's like you do with model kits when you have to.
Yeah,
put
because they got
kits in
mold
them.
release on them. as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah. But I mean, as far as I've never I have not made a two-piece mold, so that's where you have to do the two parts of silicone when they come together. You have to make sure that they're not going to stick to each other, because then your original part's going to be stuck in the middle. You have to
Sometimes-
cut the mold to get it out.
a
you
good
know,
example of that is if you do something, if you mold a part that has holes in it, you
yeah,
you're gonna it's gonna lock into there nice and tight. You're not
Oh
gonna
right,
have
yeah,
that
right,
destroyed.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The key in.
Yeah.
But the trick I've learned about that is when you pour your resin in. How did I do that? I did that with some wheels that had the holes in it. I can't remember how I did it now, but I didn't have any real problem getting the rim out that way. I can't remember how I did it, but it wasn't a real big problem getting it out. I've got the molds here. I got to look at them to remember how I did it. It's been a while since I did it.
It can be
But
tricky.
if you're doing
In the wall,
tires, yeah, you see
they've got
that?
a rim.
Yeah,
Oh
when
yeah.
you
Nice.
okay, on the back side or one side of that rim is flat, right, John?
Yeah,
One
yeah,
side of that rim is flat. The spokes are
yeah.
flat against the bottom, right?
No, the forks are raised.
Yeah, but okay, they're raised, but if you sat it down on a flat surface, right?
Yeah,
The back of the spokes would sit on the flat surface,
right.
right?
Yeah.
They're not like spokes that would go into
Not
go into
inset.
the center of the rim, right? They start at the base of the rim, the back side of the rim,
Well,
right?
look, they're
Uh,
raised a little bit.
yeah, they're raised, but I'm saying that they're at the back of the back side of the rim. The spokes are flush with the back side of the rim,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So when you set your rim down, the back side of your spokes will be like I use white glue and I glue it to my surface, right?
Right,
So basically, the rim becomes part of this. The back of the rim becomes part of that base surface. So your rubber isn't going to go underneath the rim because the rim is glued to that surface.
right, right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when you take the rim, I've got one here to show you. But when you take the rim and flip it, to take the backing off, the rim is there, right? And then you just pop it out to the bottom. Now, one of the problems, if you've got a rim that's got a lip around it on the outside edge,
Yeah.
sometimes the resin won't fill that rim
Creates an
Oh
air
yeah,
pocket.
yeah.
because it's
I
hard
heard
to
that
get that.
before.
Yeah, it's hard to get that little air bubble out. What I do is I actually use like anything, a little piece of wire or whatever, and put that into my rim first,
Yeah.
fill all the little voids in that I can do, and then I'll put the rest of the resin into the rim.
Oh,
Keep them a
okay.
little- keep them a little-
I don't pour a whole bunch of resin into the rim. I do it kind of slow. I just take a little bit and drip it in and drop it in, and that way there's more chance or less chance of you getting an air bubble in.
Right,
Also,
right.
a little brush will work too.
Well, yeah, a little brush will work or anything like
I
that.
That's what I've done. I've brushed in the resin at
Yeah,
times.
I don't brush. I just use it like I say. I'll use a little
You
piece
could
of
probably
wire.
build a small vacuum chamber.
Yeah, yeah. You don't really need them for open face molds.
Yeah,
And
that's
actually,
You know,
if
a
you
lot
drop,
of times I've gone to work, and if the outside that little lip on the rim, if it's deformed bad enough, and I can't take a little bit of something and fill it, I just sand it all off, and I take a real thin piece of plastic, whatever, and just glue it on. The outside, that's how I've done some of my, like some of the Mobius kits that come out, and even Revel's doing this now. Have you got the center of the wheel has got those knobs all over it, right? So your tire fits on to them. You have to push your tire over those little knobs. I cut all them off. I cut them all off because when you're putting the tire on, it leaves marks on the backs of the tire or the front, whichever way you put the tire on. So if you cut them all off and just take some really thin strips of styrene and you glue them on the lip, it makes the rim look a little bit bigger too. Like you'll notice the Mobius trucks or cars, they've all got that centerpiece in all the rims. Like even
Yeah,
Revel's doing that now. I hate that.
another thing
Yeah.
you can do too, which helps a lot, is after you pour your resin, is drop the mold just a little bit onto a hard surface a couple of times, and the vibrations will help sometimes break out those air bubbles a little
Yeah.
bit too.
Usually what I'll do is I'll set the like I have
Like even a paint shaker would probably work too. Actually, be a vibrating paint shaker.
Yeah, that'll be a little heavy though. The one I got, it'll kick the
Or you can
crap out
use
of me.
your wife's vibrator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
yeah, you
Joe
can
was
use
gonna come
that.
up with that. You still got yours, right, John?
Yeah, I got the flashlight with a bunch of bumblebees in it.
You got the little egg, right? You use the egg all the time, just in case.
You hear
Yeah.
your wife now, honey. Where did my thing go? Oh, I had to borrow it.
Oh, he
Sorry.
got it in the divorce. He won that thing in divorce. He wasn't giving it up.
So Rick, Michelle won the giveaway.
Oh,
Yeah,
very nice.
I
That is
wrote on
awesome.
your I wrote on your thing, Michelle, 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 like Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
What did so what did she end up winning?
Well, she has a choice of the build up that I already built, or I'll build her one.
Did
But
she has she said what she wanted yet?
no, she just said surprise me. So I
Um,
will.
There you go.
I'm gonna
So
call
I
her,
gotta throw,
text her,
I
and
gotta throw a few extra things in there.
Rick,
Well,
Some aftermarket
as good
stuff
as
or
you build
whatever.
cars, John, I would probably say I want one of your built kits because you built some awesome cars.
Yeah.
Rick,
she should tell you build the
Yeah.
red alert Chevelle.
somebody in the chat room, I'd say
No,
you probably answered the question.
she wanted my unbuilt
Okay.
red
Candy
alert.
Graham.
Everyone
Well, maybe she'll get you to build that one.
Right, that's
does
what I'm
anyone
saying.
apply
Technically,
No,
that would
no,
be
she
within
didn't
the
want it.
rules.
She wanted to get and build it herself.
Oh,
No, then the hell with it. The only way to get it is to get you to build it and then send it over. Then she can unbuild it and build it again.
So
I
can
got a built up one.
yeah. So for the question of the
John.
FEP, yes. You should, in practice, apply some kind of lubricant to a very thin layer of lubricant to the FEP before starting any kind of print. It just needs to be a thin layer, nothing super heavy, and usually you should do it on every. Well, first, make sure the FAP film is completely dust free and clear with like a microfiber cloth, and then do the lubricant lightly, and then pour your resin, and then do your print, and it should come out pretty good. So I hope that helps. And also remember too, test prints will always come out most of the time perfect, but when you do a different print, sometimes you have issues. So test prints always come out fine, but I've always found that test prints come out great and other prints didn't come out so well.
I just want to say, Rusty, I would take your 68 Dart if I had a chance. I'd take it after you get done building it.
Yeah.
So hopefully
he's
that
in the
helps.
chat. He just said he doesn't know if anybody would take any of his builds. I'd take a 68 Dart.
Yeah,
By the way, Terry, how are you feeling today? I did not ask.
I'm doing pretty good. I was going
Look
to
good.
tell Johnny there in the chat room that I was doing okay, but couldn't get Motor Mouth Mopar to hush on it.
Oh, shut up. Be quiet, the wizard. That's the wizard. Because he says on another channel, he
Are
says
people using-
that models can't be built in a day.
You can
Like
use
Rome.
pretty much any kind of
Oh, yeah.
lubricant.
You can't do that.
You can use 3-in-1 oil.
So-
Josh is live.
You can use any kind of lubricant, or even I think you might be able to use mold release. In a pinch, if you all have is kitchen oil, that might work too. Just make sure it's a very thin layer of it. You don't want to really glob it on there.
Hey, Mopar, tell them the whole story why I said that.
Wait, about who was it we were talking with?
Do what?
Who were we
About the
talking
wizard.
with?
About the
Who-
wizard.
You're
Tell
the
them why I
wizard.
said it.
You're the
No,
wizard because
I
you
said
said
you would.
models can't be built in a day because Rome wasn't built in a day. All of a
It
sudden,
wasn't.
you're giving people time, huh?
I was referring to the comment though at Pro Carry down on that Super
Pro
Bee.
carry, yeah, pro carry. That's what it
Also,
was, Pro Carry.
Candygram, if you really want to check out some good resources for the resin printing, is look up Uncle Jesse's channel.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
got a
Uncle
lot of
Jesse,
very useful
great stuff.
information that will help out in first-time 3D printers for resin. And also he does cover lubricants as well on FEP, as well as replacement. So he's a good source of info. And it's Uncle Jesse. His channel. So hope that helps.
Well, we know Hobby Bar's gonna be a wizard when he builds that Trans Am. I'm waiting for that Trans Am to get done.
I ain't building that
So
Trans Am.
so
Not now.
I
Not
heard
not that I know it come from Andy's hobby headquarters.
so I heard this really weird rumor that someone here has completed a model build. Mopar.
Yeah, it was Hobby Bar. He just completed a build.
From 2 years ago, though.
No, it
You're
wasn't
welcome
two
again,
years
Two
Grandma.
years
ago.
ago.
I'm glad I'm
It
able to
wasn't
help
two
out.
years ago. It was a big C. He did that. He gave people models of the year of their birth, but no one built one except for me and Doug. Doug built a 60 Impala, and I built a
I
62.
haven't even started my model kit yet. I still have the model kit and decal sitting here in my airbrush station. I haven't built it.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen anything on your channel except hangouts. I haven't seen one
Yeah.
build yet.
Well, I
What's
was
up with
waiting.
that?
I was waiting to finish all of my construction of my equipment out in my garage, and I finished the last piece of equipment I built yesterday, and I'll move the cam and I'll show you. So I needed
It's,
something for the top of my airbrush station for all my stuff. So I built that
Well, that's
little
pretty
three
neat.
tier shelf, and it goes on top of it.
So now we're going to continue to build models, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to get everything. So I've been trying to revamp a little bit and just do make things easier and a little more organized on my model in my airbrush area, and I just wanted to finish
What
up
happens
before I
if you
started
got to
the
move
model.
out tomorrow?
Well, I'll be doing a lot of dismantling.
I figured. It's
It's hard
always
to
the
get
way.
organized. It's hard to get organized.
Yeah,
Once you get
I try
everything
to.
nice and organized, that's when it'll hit you. Oh, I got to move this? What?
Well, trust me, next month when the probate closes on the house, we'll see. If it's enough
Yeah.
money, if it's the money that I need to move, then my wife and I are going to start. We're going to make a trip to Idaho and start looking for a place.
Yeah, then comes the packing. And start packing.
Well, she's going to go. I'm going to stay here and work, but she's going to go up and scout out a place, and then I'm going to still be working here and
That's
making
true,
money.
Graham.
And then when she finds a place, then if we both agree on it and it's affordable, then well, put down money and start looking for a new job up there and start packing
Oh,
and get
yeah.
the hell out of here.
Looks good, Steve.
That does.
Well, I
look good.
just trying to get focus. There's no focus on it, but anyway, this is basically like a one open
Hey,
face
Spoonwood.
mold, right?
How you doing, sir?
Right.
Okay, so the back of the slick, which would be the inside of the slick, it's kind of rough, like the ones I sent you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to kind of round smooth that off, but that's basically the simplest way to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Spruce.
Hi, Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, how you doing? I'll try to be quiet for you.
Hey, William.
Yeah.
How you doing?
So that
Well,
would work.
that's wishful thinking.
That would be the same way as these rims.
Ooh. Yep.
Oh, okay.
You see,
That's-
so
That's a single. That's just a one part, right, Steve?
yeah,
One part
I call these, and I don't know if they are officially called these or not. I call these what's called an open face mold.
Yeah.
Because one part of the mold is open, and that's where you pour your resin in. Now, if you wanted to do a slick with a two-piece mold, you can. The only advantage I see of that is you get both sides of the slick,
Yeah.
perfect. And in most cases, for me, I don't give a shit what the inside looks like because I'm not
Right.
looking at the inside.
What's
Most
that
of the
go on
molds
Mopar?
most of the molds I've done
That's
so
gonna
far.
go on my
it's just been,
CUDA. I
the open
just
face
used
molds. I've got that
Vallejo
one 2-part.
acrylic on it. Looks pretty good for the silver that it is.
You okay there, Miguel?
I think he's in the world of 3D.
Are you having issues with the slicer?
No, I'm just fucking annoyed. It's aggravating to have everybody talking over each other, so I'm trying not to rage quit.
What are you working on right now?
I'm my slicer program for the Anycube.
Yeah, but I mean, are you working on a particular project right now, or just?
No, I just need to print something, so I'm just getting something ready.
was working on one last night for mine. I'm going to try putting a Babylon 5 ship
Oh yeah.
on mine. Yeah, it's one of the. I don't know if you ever watched Babylon 5, but it's the one of the Earth Force ships, like the Omega class ships.
Right.
It's a
I've,
three.
I never got into the show, but
It's I liked it. The show itself kind of bored me after a while, but I do like the ships. The ships are cool. So I found a file on Thingiverse for a 3-part Omega class that I want to try printing up, and I'm trying to maximize this the full amount of build plate with it. So like 11-hour print, and it's hollow, so it's still 11 hours. You just I gotta had to put drain holes in the damn thing to drain out the resin because I'm making it hollow, so I don't use that long resin out.
there's one software that I was like reading reviews on some of the slicer programs, and there's one of them that actually does that for you. Like, but it wasn't a free one; it was a commercial software.
Chidu Box actually, you can hollow out your prints. It'll do it. Well, you have to click it, but it'll do it automatically once you click it.
That's cool.
You should have one on yours. There should be a when you have your screen up for your build plate. There should be a thing in the upper section with a list of like making holes or making hollow.
I don't know what any of these icons do, and they don't give me a tooltip when I hover over them.
That's weird. Mine will. Well, that's you telling me hollow out or make holes. And this is for the. It's for the mono. Oh wow. Yeah, you got a way different setup on your build plate. I don't see anything up. What are you on this? Check. I see. Are you on the screen where you can put supports in, or are you on the other screen?
No, that's this one here.
Huh. Because like on mine, see that's weird because mine have all my options up top on the above it.
Ah!
Yeah, I know.
The problem is when I use Kira, I don't have any. I can't prep it for my printer. It doesn't have my printer as an option. You said you're using Chitubox? I thought about grabbing Chitubox, but
That's what I was thinking.
you have to set up an account, and I wasn't ready to do that.
It's pretty quick. It didn't take me long to set up an account with Chichibucks for mine, and it actually does work pretty good. It gives you the option up there for doing the like holes and hollow out and some other stuff.
Oh, maybe I'll try it. This one that came with my printer, it's garbage. I mean, it like keeps like the menus disappear if I click on one of the tool tips up here. So this box here, for some reason, it'll disappear. And then when I click on another one, it'll reappear. It's
Yeah, I would go with Chitubox. I've always had some good results with it so far.
I'll give it a shot.
That's what I used. That's what I used to do. Like Ernie's wheels and that thing I sent Michelle was all from
Very good to
Chitubox.
know. Very good
You know
to
what the difference between the Pro and the regular version is?
I don't know actually. I don't know. I think maybe the one thing I can think of is maybe there's a few more bells and whistles with the Pro version versus the standard. But I don't know. I mean, to me, sometimes the pros really don't. There's not enough to really justify the extra amount of money they want to charge you for. I mean, I was thinking about getting a pro version, and the one I got works out good. So,
Rick, there's a message for you in the chat.
Spring Glue. Rick, I have made extra room for your sci-fi kits. Send them over when you're ready. I'll keep that in mind, Spru. Unfortunately, RT Hobbyworks has already has put a request in that I include them in my will with all my model kits. So you guys might have to fight amongst yourselves on that one.
And he's sending you over some free food, right?
Yeah, right. Shoot, I don't know if I have all these kits built in my lifetime or not, to be honest with you.
I'll never have all mine built.
Maybe when I retire, I might
Ain't
make a
gonna
dent in
happen.
them. Now, when I retire, I might make a dent in them. Because when I retire, I'm probably not going to be doing much of anything except building kits. So, I might.
Well, that's what I thought too, but it's not happening.
No,
Yeah.
I've been retired for 13. I've been retired for 13 years. Hard to believe, but
Yeah,
I don't think I've built more than 5 kits.
the word
Yeah.
I
retirement
got
is
a lot of stuff
overrated.
started. It's all started, but
Hey,
that's
John.
all they're going to get.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
word retirement is overrated.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, there's always
Retired
something
or
to do.
retarded, one of the two.
Yeah.
But anyway,
It's even worse being disabled.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
there's a rim. Wait, now where's my camera? Okay, there is a rim from a Mobius kit, right?
Oh wow.
But you see all the little lugs on it?
Yeah.
You see all the little lugs on the outside,
Yeah.
right? I hate
Yeah.
that. So what I've done is I've ground them all off. Okay, I ground them all off, and well, basically your rim looks like that, smooth. Okay.
Okay.
Well, then when you put your tire in, it doesn't get damaged. Now, I've gone to work and added a lip on this tire. I don't know if you can see the lip or not. The lip's in white.
Yeah,
Right?
good.
Okay. Now you see this one here. This is the original. This is one that doesn't have the lip on it.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Now, this one is a Firestone tire that used to come in all the AMT kits back in the '60s. You know, a Firestone, whatever it is, Supreme. And this one here is the kit tire. To me, the kit tire, which would be, there's the two tires. Now, the kit tire is too wide.
Okay.
It's too wide for a 1966 tire. You know, it might work all right for a 1970 tire, but it's just too wide. You know, I mean, it might be a 16-inch tire might be that wide. A 16-inch might be that wide, but not 15s.
Yeah,
Anyway,
a 60s
that's what
tire
we
would
do.
be bias plus.
I'll be right
Yeah,
back, guys.
yeah.
Get some more coffee real quick.
And this is what I use when I use aluminum. The sheet of aluminum. This is actually cut from a roll that is roof flashing.
Right. Yeah.
And silver on one side, and well, I don't know. Well, this is the silver side, and this is the gold side.
Right.
You can't really see the sheen there, but it's a kind of a goldish color. But that stuff's reasonably quite cheap. You get it at the hardware store. It's not free.
Yeah.
You still got to pay for it.
Yeah.
But my brother had some. My brother had some of the other stuff that John's talking about, and I had a hole. I had an '81 Ford half ton, and I had a hole in the muffler. Well, I figured I could wrap this aluminum around it. It would work good. Well, I didn't realize that the muffler gets pretty warm, so the aluminum sheet just kind of shriveled all up. It was not very big when it was done. I forgot the heat of the exhaust would make that kind of shrivel. Anyway, that was yeah. I mean, those Mobius truck kits, holy crap, they're just full of stuff. I mean, they come with 4 different sets of mirrors.
Wow.
So I mean, if you got old half tons that don't have mirrors, they got the mirrors. I mean, they're just loaded with parts.
Right.
You know, it depends on what all stuff you need and that. But
Hey, Blue Streak.
I'm getting all my stuff mixed up again. I don't have to figure that out again. But that's fine. That is.
Yeah, I like flashing. I made a lot of gaskets out of flashing.
Hi, Blue. How's it going? Yeah, I went out for supper last night, and God, the questionnaires they asked you because of this virus crap, unbelievable.
Yeah,
Getting
thank God we don't
ridiculous.
have that yet. Thank God we don't have to deal with that yet.
No,
I guess it's coming though.
It's getting ridiculous here.
My wife's got to get a waiver for her job. Because they want to get rid of that. It's insane. Got to be in by the 15th. People got to work. You know how you gonna eat if you don't work?
Yeah.
Them rims you're trying to do, Miguel, are them the ones going on that Chevelle you're working on?
No, that's just something that I downloaded recently. It's actually wasn't intended for models at all, I don't think, because it's like 1,000 millimeter model scale. So I had to bring it down to like 20 millimeters to make it a 20-inch wheel at 1/24 scale. So I mean, it was a huge model. I don't think it was intended for modeling at all. Just something I found online that was free, and I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Can you print those like 1/43?
What's that?
Can you print those like 1/43 scale?
You can print them in any scale you want. You can scale it up or down,
Oh, yeah.
however you want. Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
So
I heard
that's
somebody say something about that's why some of the files is actually made bigger than what they should be, so that way you can go up or down on it.
Yeah, and it's got scaling options, so you can tell it, it'll tell you the model is, 20 millimeters by 7 millimeters by 18 millimeters, height, width, length, whatever. And then you can tell it, you can scale it up or down however you want on the build
cool.
plate.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So you could use that part on any particular model. If you had a 1/43
Yeah.
scale or 172 or whatever, you could make it to fit it.
Yeah, the length and width on it was like, 20. I set it to 20 millimeters, which is at 1/24 scale. That's about a 20 to 21 inch wheel. It's like right in the middle. So I mean, if you wanted a 20-inch wheel, and that at 1/24 scale or 1/25 scale or 1/43 scale, whatever it is you wanted to build, you knew it needed to be a certain size, because there's calculators out there you can use to figure it out. Then you just scale it down to that size, and then
Right.
run your print.
Hi, Tampa.
Well, that saves on have to get another file just for that particular size too.
Yep, and that's the thing. I bought a handful of files from Ron Olson before he closed his store down, but they're all for like 1/8 scale models, 1/16 scale models, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I just have to scale them to what I want when I print them, which is totally fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Hey Tampa, how you doing?
Hey, Tampa.
There's something for Tampa.
What's up, Tampa?
Hey, I was going to let y'all know I hit 200 subscribers last night.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.
Congratulations, sir.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool.
For 4 months, that surprised me that I got that many.
Okay, so I got Chitu Box here.
But it goes up and down though.
Yeah, it does.
Same with mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You
I had
got that
198.
right.
Had
Very
198 the other day. Then check next morning, it's down to 194. Then check again, it's up to 200.
Terry, so I know.
Mine does
Yeah.
that too. I was at
Yeah.
161 or 261. I'm at like 259, I think.
I think a lot of people subscribe and then they go in to see what you got, and then after that, then they take you back off.
No, it's YouTube itself, Terry. I had
Oh, is it?
1300. I had 1,300 one day, and 2 days later I had 980.
Oh,
So,
So go
okay.
figure.
Oh,
hey,
there it
hey,
is.
Big Charlie.
So here you can see
Hey,
this is
Charlie.
the scale of the model versus the tiny little build plate. You can see the little blue patch. That's the actual build plate.
Okay,
Oh.
so the way to do that, go over to your, go right there, and you should have scale to fit.
Well, I want to scale it to a specific size, so I specify the size
Oh, okay.
because I know it needs to be 20 millimeters. I've already like done the calculation on it.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, so now I've got it scaled down to
Yeah. Now you want to tilt that to where it's kind of on its like at an angle, but you
yeah.
want
But
it to
why
where
is
the
that? I mean I see everybody doing that, but I don't understand why.
a couple of reasons. One is a lot of times because the supports will stay in an area where if it creates a problem with the supports and does any damage, you won't notice it or won't be in a problem. Plus, as it's pulling away from the build plate, it doesn't, or the FEP plate, there's not a really wide area for it to stick to the FAP or FEP plate.
Okay.
The littlest it can stick to the FAP, the better, because it won't have a chance to maybe pull off of the build plate and stick to the clear plate.
Okay.
That's why they do sometimes the angle. Like when I did Ernie's wheels, I did them kind of at an angle, and they came out really well.
I like
Plus,
the
sometimes it
software
also
already.
has like less supports on different angles because you want to try to lessen your supports as much as possible.
Yeah, waste resin.
So do I need to worry about like the altitude of my part on the build plate? I mean, because I
Um,
can't
I think
tell whether
so.
it's touching or
I think
I
so.
usually, when I do mine, I usually pull it up maybe about 2 millimeters off the build plate. That way, it doesn't have a chance to like elephant's foot out or mush up or anything. It just has a couple of supports holding it up, and it makes it a little easier for removal. But I do about 2 millimeters off the build plate
I
when
watched
I do.
Uncle Jesse do one. He did a figure, and the top of the figure got just a little bit cut off because he didn't watch that.
okay. So I have it 2 millimeters off the build plate now.
Okay.
Do you generally use the automated support?
You can do the automated first and see what it does, or if you're familiar enough with it, just look for the points that it's going to need support, and you can manually put them in. But
Okay, so what do I need to click here?
okay,
Platform?
yeah. So go to back up to the top part of your menu there,
Uh-huh.
and go to the far right and click on that icon there.
Yeah, I'm on it
Oh,
already.
okay, I see. So you can go
Oh, here, let
to
me. I
you
did
go
my
to-
screen. I'm gonna try to resize this so that you guys can see it better. Not gonna let me. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
okay. So go to you should see add, and it should be right there.
One of these buttons. Let's
Yeah.
see.
One
Okay,
says
it's on
add.
add. Yeah, it's on add.
Click on add, and it'll automatically add your supports.
I don't have an add button. I have a little icon that says add support, and when I click
Yeah.
it, nothing happens.
Okay, so go over and up.
This?
Yep. There you go.
Okay. Nice. Okay. So it's automatically calculated where I need supports.
Right.
Right? Nice.
So if you want to do 4 of those, what do you do? Copy that?
Yeah. What you would do with that is if you're doing 4 wheels, you would just you could put 4 of them on the build plate and then just arrange them in a basic square pattern,
Right.
and then generate the supports and everything, and it would go from there.
Okay.
And they recommend with these kind of printers that you actually print as many parts as you can on the initial run. That way,
Right.
it does less stress on the FEP plate or FAP plate.
But if you were doing something, quite small, say like, well, like let's say 4 millimeter by 4 millimeter,
Hmm.
right? And you wanted to do just a test, would you have to print more than one?
What just for doing a test piece?
Yeah.
No, one should be fine for a test piece.
Yeah.
The location really wouldn't matter as much as like the exposure time and stuff like that. So one
Yeah.
test piece should be fine.
Because I mean, in order to get something maybe the exact size, you might have to test it 2 or 3 different times to get what you're really looking for.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
you were trying it out, if you didn't know exactly the size, then yeah, a
Right.
couple of test prints, and then once you dialed in what you were
Right.
looking for, then you were good to go.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, I see that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into buying one now.
Now, Miguel, Move
I
those
think you should
if you
get one.
want to. Move them more towards the center of the plate. Would be like
I'm
I'd like to
getting
see
one.
more of that. I'd like to see more of that cougar there, Mopar.
the whole group. Just move the whole group over to more the center.
More of what?
That cougar.
Oh, the cougar. You like the cougar, huh?
Yeah. Well, I've had several.
Yeah, I like this cougar. It's
Yeah,
called the
something like
nitty
that.
gritty. The nitty gritty.
There you go. That's what I would do with mine. Is I would center everything.
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. That's
Now
nice.
let's
I've never seen that by itself.
Yeah. Well, this is where they let it out, and I think it was 1990 something.
Wow.
Now, Miguel, the other thing you want to do that will help out a lot, which I found was helpful to me, is on your resin bottle, what is the exposure time on that? Because that's really important to help these prints stick to your build plate. I found out the hard way that it was important.
I grabbed the bottle. Let's see, exposure 3 to 15 seconds. First layer exposure 20 to 80 seconds.
That's what you want. You want the first layer exposure because that first layer exposure is what's going to get your part to stick to that build plate. So you'll want to go into Jitterbox there, and there is a setting. Let me bring up my Jitterbox so I can actually navigate
Okay.
as well. Because I had to change that setting on my Jitterbox to make it work right because that first exposure is paramount for a good quality print.
Jacob. Hey. Hey.
Okay.
Okay. Hey.
Let me see here. Where did I find?
Is that the 4-door Impala?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Big C just sent me the.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it though. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it metallic black. I was thinking of going a little off the show deal.
What about
What's that?
Black Pearl? Black Pearl will look nice.
Yeah, so I was thinking black pearl, and do it that way.
Yeah.
Opening the doors on this thing would probably be a nightmare.
Where is my tool?
Yeah. Well,
Doug Hensley done 2 of them.
New open
Yeah.
subject, open account.
you could do suicide doors
Yeah, I like the way Doug did his too.
in the back.
That's what turned me on. As soon as I saw Doug do it, I was like, damn it, I need that car.
Where did I am
I like
trying
my
to find
4
the
doors.
exposure time.
What did you say you were going to do when you painted it?
Yeah, I've owned a couple of 4-doors.
Settings. Okay, so Miguel,
Oh
Yes,
no,
sir.
just a couple.
when
right?
you're on your screen where it has where it says to slice it,
Let me get back there. Let's see. Okay, yeah.
okay, go to the settings above that slice option.
Okay, yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Go to
Print. I have my Anycubic Photon Mono set as my profile.
okay, yeah, go to the print, and there it should give you exposure time. Bottom exposure time is what you're looking for,
Okay.
and that's what you should program as the first layer exposure.
So 20 to 80 seconds. So
Well, 20 to 80 is that your initial exposure?
that's what it says for the initial exposure for the
Okay.
first layer exposure.
Yeah, so you can go anywhere in between that mark. I would tend to maybe go a little higher than just the middle point.
I'll do 60.
Okay, that's what mine is at 60 actually. And then then you have exposure time, which is just the overall total exposure time.
And it says 3 to 15. And that's
So-
per layer, right?
Yeah.
So is it better to go longer on that?
Um,
What's the advantage of going higher or lower?
well, if you go higher, that when the print comes out of the machine, it's already
Here,
kind of more cured.
Okay.
Less time, it's a little softer.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just go in the middle.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
does it take you a whole week to show and tell to get everything ready for show and tell or what?
No, I'm just picking them up
I'm
out
actually, I
of.
got mine
They're
up
all
right now,
around me. You
looking
know that, right?
So,
They're all around me.
the other settings you should be fine with as the standard
I
settings
thought you'd
for
like
your
to see
profile.
that one.
He's been working since Wednesday to get them lined back up.
Cool. Thank you.
glad to help.
Yeah, you're helping me too. Because as you help him, I'm learning.
Now it
Glad to be of
says
assistance.
there's a mirror setting. Should I leave that defaulted?
I would. I never mess with the mirror setting. I just left it totally alone.
Okay, I won't. I won't mess with it.
I'm still learning Box. It's a lot.
As long as we all learn together, that's cool with me.
Yeah,
It would probably
Box
print
is
them
good, but
backwards.
it's kind of. I'm still learning Cura.
Chidu Box is a replacement for Kira, right?
Yeah, it's basically the Cura version for the resin printers.
Yeah, I went and did like some Googling, and I did like what are the best slicers for this printer, and I found a bunch of posts that were like, they ranked like the top 5 slicer programs, and Chidu Box was on that list.
Oh yeah, Box, the version they have now is actually way better than what they first came out with. They've improved it a lot, give you a lot more options.
Yeah, well, it's pretty good. I mean, so far it looks good.
It's probably it looks like it's easier to use than what you were using.
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
I was. When he was talking about that last week, Rick, I went and looked it up, and that's what I was thinking. The same thing when I get mine, I'm gonna use that program.
Yeah, I like Box. I mean, it came with my printer, is what my slice program was for it, but I love it. It's at first it's a little tricky, but once you kind of get the basics on it, you can have fun with it.
That's for Steve, because Steve's a Mopar. I mean, a Ford crazy guy.
Not necessarily.
Well, you love that Cougar.
I've had Buicks. I've had Oldsmobiles. Although I must admit, I have a Toyota now.
Oh yeah, I have to have a beer car.
And I have a Mazda Miata.
Those are
We've
beer
been
cars. Good to
retired
have.
14 years now, Steve.
What's that, John?
14 years now?
What?
Been that long you've been retired now? 14 years?
Yeah, 2008. Time goes by fast.
Oh yeah.
I've been
Especially when you're
retired
having
for
fun.
disabled since '99.
Yeah, I retired in '98.
Also, Miguel,
Yeah, was it
on your,
98?
on your
Fuck yeah.
supports,
Jesus.
make sure that they are
Yeah, because I
connection
left
points are
New Brunswick in 2000.
like the really super
And you were
thin
retired
connection
already
points.
before then.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on,
probably.
Rick. Let him finish.
Yeah, no, I'm sure I retired in 2008. Yeah. Yeah, it's scary. I don't know where the hell all the time went, but
What the hell?
no, 2008 would be right. Wouldn't it? Yeah. 2008 must be right. Where's my calculator? Maybe it wasn't. No, it's could have been that.
Shit, I'm only 50. I got a long ways where I can retire.
But I never thought I'd make it to retirement, to be honest with you.
No, I retired in 2008.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my.
Did you get your full retirement, Steve, when you retired?
Who's that? They called you.
No, he worked for the city, so he got a pretty good pension.
Oh, very nice.
Upstairs.
Ice cream in it.
Oh,
You gotta
really?
put it in the freezer.
Yeah, I was really fortunate. I got a job working with the city in the engineering department the year I graduated. Well, actually, I started work before I was even out of school.
Nice.
And I went in for an interview, and my hair was down past my shoulders. And
Oh, I would love to see that.
I
well,
can
yeah, I
imagine
can show you that, but I don't know why. But anyway, the guy I had the interview with had brush cut. And I'm thinking, well, I ain't going to get this job, but that's all right. I wanted the experience for going for a job interview, right? Because it was the first job interview I went for. And when they asked about my teacher, because my teacher knew the guy in the engineering department, and the guy in the engineering department asked if they needed any, was looking for a draftsman. And that's what I took in high school, drafting. And everybody else said, well, how much they pay? And the guy says, well, $110 a week. Some of the guys were saying, well, I make that much in a weekend pumping gas. And of course, with me not working or nothing, I said, well, I'm gotta go for the interview anyway. The guy
Good
looked at me,
transmission, Miguel.
Guy looked at my drawings and he said, "When you come to work?" I said, "I'm not. I don't know. I'm still in school." He said, "I'll see you tomorrow morning."
Awesome.
So I started working in mornings, and then for a couple weeks, then had a full time job. So I was really lucky that I was only 20 years old when I started.
That
You
is
know,
that is awesome.
yeah, and I worked my way all the way up through the system, and at the end of it, I was looking after the maintenance of all the city buildings.
Sweet.
What
Yeah.
was
That's
that,
good.
Terry?
I said, was that a transmission you had on there with them rims?
Yeah.
Um, if I can give you one, if I can say one thing about the what you got on that print bed so far, Miguel, I would change. I would reposition.
The program just crashed, and then it let me reload the save, and now it's everything's gone.
Oh shit.
It's all right. It only took me a few minutes. But what were you gonna say?
The one part you had on there, you had it laying flat. I'm not sure what part it was, but it was next to the wheels and it was laying flat.
Transmission. You
No,
think I should stand it up?
well, not the transmission. It was a square piece. I couldn't.
Oh, it was a manifold, a blower manifold.
Okay, I would actually tilt that up at an angle because the when you tilt things up at a high pitched angle, it lessens the amount of supports that have to be used on it,
Okay.
so it's less cleanup. I would probably just make that at kind of an angle to help kill the
Okay.
supports off.
I forgot about that.
John.
What is
All
John doing? John's showing off his cars.
He probably still thinks he's in school.
You know you're enjoying the funny cars.
At
I
least
had
they're
a
built.
little few of them, but I don't know where they went.
I know
Right,
John's
Rick?
drag nut.
I said at least a Mopar with what he's showing is built.
This is true.
Part of my collection. I have this in the Joanne version. I have to have
They're
it.
nice.
Problem is, they come that way.
You gotta open a few. Life's too short.
True.
You got that right.
I'm hoping that when we move, we get into a place where I actually have room to display all my collectibles I have, because I've got a bunch of collectibles I had to put in boxes. Because I don't have room
Yeah,
to just
my
show 'em.
advice is make sure they're under glass.
Johnny's probably right there in the chat room. By the time my kids get old enough to retire, they won't be no retirement.
No,
Yeah,
no, that's true.
times are changing, that's for sure, and not for the better.
Yep.
See, they used to have it that we pay till we're 60 for CPP. Now we pay past that. So we're already getting it, but we're paying into it too. So, well, we don't get an increase.
You know, I don't like change. I don't like the changes I'm seeing. It's not at all.
Oh,
No.
they're gonna be bad, man. These
Oh,
bad
yeah.
changes.
That's Steve has got the A one. He's got the button. He's got the button, John.
Yeah, I got the button.
Nice.
I showed you this one before, but I'll show it to you again.
Yeah,
I got the button. I got the button.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Nice. I like that one.
Got back. Get back.
That's an original 1969 button.
Yeah, mine's too big. Mine's way too big.
Is that the first time you've ever said that?
I
No,
was waiting for that.
I've said it a lot of times.
I think that's what your wife said
Too
too the first time she saw you too, eh?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
too
waiting to
big,
hear
too big.
some of the comments on that one. I wasn't going to say a word. I was just waiting for
Big,
it.
Me,
too
me
big.
either. I
There
was
we go.
gonna, me
My
either. I was gonna
bee's
say
too
out that
big
one.
to fit. My bee's
I
too
knew they
big
were
to
coming.
fit.
Yep.
My bee's
Yeah,
too
looks good.
As soon as
Like I
I'm
said-
not
John
going to
wants
say
that
a word.
one.
Like I said,
The thing is
Mopar
that-
just makes it too easy.
They were cheap, you know. Those guys were cheap at the
Very
time.
true. Open the door. There you thank you much.
Yep.
No,
John
Open mouth,
Paul.
stick foot in it.
John Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're gluing something, if you're using something for a base, right? To glue,
Yeah.
what I do is I have something for a base, and I try to get something that's clear. Okay. Because if
Okay.
it's clear and you glue your parts to it with white glue, then after that's all set up, you flip it over, you can see if you've missed anything.
Okay.
Okay. And then that way you can say, well, it's totally glued to the base. And all
Right.
I do is I use white glue. If you use a lot of white glue, like on big surfaces, it won't glow in the center. I mean, it won't harden in the center. So just use the outside edge.
Right.
Like I use a little. I use a dowel with a pin in it. If you can't see it now, like I use a dowel with a pin in it,
Right.
or a needle,
Okay.
and that's what I
Yeah.
use. I dip that in the resin and I put it inside like the small parts, like the
Right.
small cavities, before I pour the other stuff in.
It's a
I
good
Okay.
mean,
idea.
when it's first mixed up in that, it's pretty fluent. But
I
my
got
stuff
the.
takes
I don't have the
supposed to
smooth
take
one. I
three
got the
inches.
aluminum light.
Yeah, well, aluminite. I started with that, but I wasn't really happy with it.
No.
You have to keep. I used to keep mine in the fridge
Okay.
because it's got to be kept cool and it can't get moisture. I think what happened to my other resin, I think because the humidity was so bloody high, it went bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's not much. I mean, our humidity here has been running 65%.
Right.
You know, I mean that's you can't even paint in that stuff. Well, you
No.
can, but I don't bother. Now today's perfect day, for painting. And here I am sitting talking to you guys. Wow, what a
It's
waste
too,
of time.
it's too hot to go outside for me down here. It's about 100 plus degrees right
Oh
now. So
wow.
I can't go
Yeah, but you
outside.
get the dry heat.
Yeah, I mean it cools off at night, thank God. But in the daytime, though, oh my
Yeah,
lord, it's
yeah.
boiling.
Well, we've had temperatures here. Well, this summer the highest temperature this summer was 35 degrees Celsius. Now, I'm not sure what that is, but it's hot.
If it's hot for you, then it's gonna be boiling for us.
Oh yeah. Well, see, the heat doesn't bother me. It's the humidity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Yeah. I mean, I walk outside and walk around the house. I'm soaked.
That's one of the
It's
reasons why I moved out of when I lived back east in Baltimore. That's why I moved back out to California because the humidity was just. I mean, in Baltimore, Maryland, the humidity is like 95%, and it stays
Yeah.
that way through the night. So
yeah.
it's
Well, that's been
nasty.
like that here.
It's been
Yeah.
murder all August. It's been murder.
Yeah. I mean, I lived
It's
there for
been pretty
14
hot here
years.
too. Been pretty
Yeah.
hot this year.
14 years of dealing with that. I'm like, I can't do this shit no more. I gotta get out of here. I gotta come back to California.
Well, it's like Wednesday night when we was on here and our heart rate went to 130. That's
Yeah.
the reason why the humidity was like 97%.
Oh my.
And I can't breathe. It just, my heart starts running away.
Yeah.
Trying to pump more oxygen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a
Automatically, I hit that
it's not
high
a good
humidity.
environment for if you have breathing issues. That is you don't want that.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
gotcha.
I have to hit the albuterol. I have to hit the other inhaler. I mean, that's how bad it gets.
My wife could never live in that area because she's got respiratory problems, and she could never live in that environment. It would just really. I mean, she has to take breathing treatments herself, and she
Yeah.
could never live in that environment.
Well, I know what she's going through because I have to do them every 4 hours.
Hers
Plus,
are as needed kind of things where
yeah.
if it starts to act up, she'll not do a breathing treatment.
Well,
I had to take
mine was when the doctor first, put me on them or give me one of the machines. But then it just gradually, it went to every 6 hours, and now it's down to every 4. It's just,
Wow. Yeah, that's
gradually
pretty
getting worse.
awesome.
Yeah.
we had
That's
to
why.
take- I had to take-
That's why you see me a lot on these live chat rooms and stuff. Live streams. I'll say I got to go and take a breathing treatment because
Yep.
that 4 hours comes by quick.
we had to take her to the hospital one time. We went fishing, and we got back from fishing, and she had a respiratory attack. It was really bad. We had to take her to the hospital to get a breathing treatment done before she actually got the machine to do it here at home. and she couldn't breathe. I mean, she literally was just like,
You got a nebulizer, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
We had to do that. Now she's got one here at home that she can use, like what you got, Terry.
yeah,
Um, but before it was like emergency room run.
yeah. Well,
Nah,
mine was to quit. I mean, I've got a backup as far as that.
yep,
If mine quit, I've got another one I can use.
yep.
But
Oh,
I
okay.
always have to.
but it's a real old one. But it still works. But
As long as it as long as it does the job.
yeah. But if I didn't have it, my other one quit. Yeah, I'd have to make a run to the emergency room too, probably, because
Oh yeah.
I couldn't make it. If I couldn't take in breathing treatments.
No,
I
you
mean, I
you
got
need.
my inhaler, but that inhaler just does so much. It's just an emergency
Yeah.
inhaler, and
Yeah, that's
it'll
that's a short. That's like a
yeah
quick fix.
yeah it'll work. Within 5 minutes, but then an hour later it's done wore off too.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
No,
just
you
the
need to get.
nebulizer gives you that albuterol over a long period of time.
yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
And the same way with my trilogy inhaler that I use, it's just a one-time thing during the day. It's a 24-hour inhaler, like a
Right.
powder. It's about like that Spiriva and some of them other ones.
Hmm.
You take a steroid too, right? There.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll take a breathing pill,
Wow.
But it's got
but
steroids in it.
yeah, it's 500 milligram. The doctor said that was the highest dosage that I could take. I was trying to get him let me take two a day instead of one, but he said one is all I can take, and I'm taking the highest dosage, 500 milligrams. So he told me that well, actually it's her now, but she said that everything that I take is at its limit. I'm taking everything I could possibly take for my breathing. They ain't got nothing else that they can give me that will do anything different or make it any better. They
Well,
done reached their limit and everything like that. So I'm pretty well left. Where I'm at. I just got to make the most of it, and that's why I have to watch what I do. Then I
yeah,
know what I can get by with and what I can't.
yeah. You got to know your limits. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, my story. Man's got no limitations.
when I know that my breathe or my heart rate's going to go up, I'll stop before it gets to that point. If I had to, walk 10 foot and sit down, I will. But I know not to try to push the limit on my heart rate running. I've had it run, like I told you the other day, 230 is highest it ever went. But I've had it to go 160, 170 several times. And that's a scary feeling. And plus, that makes it worse because then you start to panic and then it
Yeah.
makes your heart rate go even higher.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
But
I
I've
mean,
learned
God.
over, the last year or so, I've learned how to slow it down too. And that helps a whole lot. And that's what the lung doctor said. Knowing how to slow it back down is more important than dealing with the fact that it's actually going up to start with. Is
True.
being able to control it and to get it slow back down.
Well, it gives the medication. It's in combination with the medication too. It just helps a lot more.
Yeah, but
That's,
with
that's the
this,
medication's got to do.
but with the humidity, the amount of air that I'm even taking in is just not doing any good because that's what put me in the hospital last time. There was too much carbon dioxide building up in my lungs.
Hmm.
I wasn't
Yeah.
getting no oxygen in, and I wasn't breathing no nothing out.
Yeah, that humidity is. It's.
That's
I
like
mean that.
Yeah, when
it's
your
like
lung
Doug
efficiency
Hensley.
gets that bad, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's like with anybody. It's like Doug Hensley. He put on there yesterday. It's pouring the rain down there in Lexington. Luckily, it missed us, and I'm only about 30 minutes away from him. But it's just that that all that humidity and stuff. It just really takes a toll, like on him or me. He uses takes breathing medicine and stuff, but he's got the fibromyalgia or whatever too.
Oh,
His
that's
nerves and
yeah.
stuff, and his hands
Nerve
and stuff.
damage.
If you ever watch some of his videos, he'll wear like a brace on his hands because he just can't just has problems with the humidity is what causes it.
Yeah.
Same
Well,
way as
even.
Sucks.
anybody's got arthritis and stuff. When it rains, I mean that's when
Yeah,
you know
bingo.
where,
Right
that's
here.
when the arthritis shows up and you know exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even with people that have the best of health conditions, that humidity makes it hard on people, even
Oh
in the
yeah,
best of conditions.
yeah.
So
Man,
you know,
when I was 18, I felt nothing. Nothing at all. I just ran through the jungle like it was nothing.
Yeah, so
You're doing
so did
enough.
I. 17 and 18, nothing could hurt me. I know that.
Nothing hurt me, man.
Yeah.
I was riding 120 miles a day as a bike messenger.
Mm.
Best shape in my life. See, I don't want to turn this into this because I don't keep it in a box, and then it gets all dirty and crappy after all your work, and then it goes to crap.
You need a case for it.
No kidding. But I'm going to buy another one of these. They're hard to find. Maybe MPC, AMT, or Round 2 will reissue it.
How's it going with your program, Miguel?
Not good. I'm clicking add all support and it says, do you want to delete all support?
Oh,
It's because
That's
what you're
not
doing
good.
because you've got some has supports and some doesn't. You have to get everything on the build plate before you hit add supports,
Oh,
Oh, in
and
other words,
then
you got
it
to do them
should
all at one
generate.
time.
Yeah,
I thought
because
it was
it's.
just for the item that I had selected.
Oh no! Get all your stuff on the build plate you want in the position you want, and then hit the add support, and it should go just fine for you.
Okay, I'll delete all then and see.
Yeah, just delete all supports and then just reinitialize, and it should work. That's what I had to do when I did Ernie's wheels. I had to put them all on the build plate and then clicked on supports, and it worked.
this is really cool. I'm learning stuff.
Okay, I'm going to try that again. I'm going to open a different project.
Rick, be a
Project.
teacher, couldn't he?
What was that?
I said, you could be a teacher.
God, I actually used to be a trainer. One of my
This is
jobs,
actually remote teaching.
I was
That's what he's
actually
doing.
one of my job sites. I actually was I got into a training position where I just trained officers and on the site and stuff like that.
Girls in McDonald's French fries.
You need a lot of patience to be a teacher, let me tell you that.
Oh yes, you do. Yeah. I'm not really good on patience sometimes.
See? There you go. There you go.
Over the years, I've gotten more patience in my older years, but when I was younger, I had the patience of nothing.
Yeah,
Patience
a
is hard.
gnat, right? A
Yeah,
gnat.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh.
Well, it crashed again.
Uh, what the hell?
Wow.
Mine.
Why?
I've never had a problem with mine crashing like that. I don't understand why.
I'd say that I never thought about that, but I'd say that would be hard. Johnny talked about he has breathing problems, but working in a wood shop, I'd
Oh,
say
well,
breathing all
yeah.
that sawdust and shit probably would be hard on your breathing.
Yeah,
Never thought
sawdust
about
that
that.
is no good on your lungs.
Yeah.
I have a dust collection system in my garage when I use my power tool, so I don't inhale any of that dust. Because over time, that will really screw you up.
Never really thought about that, but I guess that's true.
Those wheels look good, Miguel. By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll work out.
I like them. Now you designed those, right?
No,
Oh, okay. They
nope,
look
that's
good,
just something I downloaded.
though. Oh, sweet. Have you explored Thingiverse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Thingiverse.
Yeah, in fact, I uploaded my jig there.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I love Thingiverse. There's some other sites too, like Cult is a good one too.
Yeah, I bookmarked probably 10 websites.
Yeah. So I like about
John, you
Thingiverse.
ain't-
It's all free.
John, you ain't saying much.
He's enjoying listening.
Well, there's silence from John. Holy shit.
Wait, let me record this. This is an epic moment.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save it for Michelle.
She'll never believe us if we tell her.
No, she's on holidays now. She's gonna wait for until September the 1st.
Oh, where'd she go?
Just away from where she lives.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she said on her last live stream she wouldn't be back on this Monday, wouldn't she?
She's talking about moving too, eh? So
Yeah, wasn't she talking moving into a? She's converting a bus or something that she's gonna be living in. I think she said.
yeah, or a trailer or something of that nature.
Yeah, I know she was talking about that.
She was trying to get the alien done before she went on holidays, but that didn't happen.
She'll get it later.
Yeah,
Hey Rick,
You know,
when he gets done with setting it all up, will it tell him how long it's going to take, an estimate of print time?
yes. When you hit slice and it slices, it'll give you print time. It'll give you the amount of resin used, and on Chitterbox, I think it also gives you a price point of how much it will cost to print that one part by
wow,
by estimating the amount of resin being used.
wow.
Oh, well, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally don't use it. I don't use that part of it because it's now that would really work if, say, you were doing it as a business and you were doing it for other people. That would be a really good tool to use to
Yeah,
like for charging reasons. Like, say, I printed a set of wheels. It's going to use 2 kilograms or 2 grams of material. Cost this X amount of dollars or cents, and then you could add that to your material usage for the
Right,
price point.
right. Figure out the
I think
price.
I think that's how Mike does it with his figures.
Probably
Agree.
it makes sense, and you can also, because I mean, the print time is up to the person charging. They can charge what they want for print time. If they have to design something, then you
Yeah,
charge
Mike
for the
does
design
all the
time.
figures, eh, for 1/9 scale, I think it is.
Okay.
The Predator and things of that nature. He's
Mike
on
who?
Facebook. He's on Facebook. I think 3D Designs. I think that's his
I
page
think I
name.
think I've seen that. That sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah. He used to hang around with Gilbert Mondragon and a few other Dominic.
Okay.
He hangs around with Dominic the other time.
That's probably where I've seen him then.
Yeah,
'Cause that name does sound familiar. Yeah, see that I never. I've been.
he's got like 9 printers or 9 or 10 printers going at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
wow.
He's got.
Yeah.
He's. I mean, I've seen some pretty big print farms where they got like 30 and 40 printers that all go like
Rick,
Wow.
Rick,
constantly.
did you see that Any Cubic, the new one they just put out? And they were funding it, and you could got it for 350, three something. But now on Amazon it's like 4.99, 5.99.
Yeah, I've looked at the Anycubic a little bit.
How is that's the way to do it? Buy it as a funding unit, and then before it comes out, because once it comes out, the price goes up.
Yeah, it's like a start. It's like a starter program.
Starter, yeah,
Yeah, or it's called a Kickstarter actually. That's
Kickstarter,
what it
right,
is.
right, Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I was mad because I would have liked to buy it at that price.
Yeah. You can still get the resin printers for really low, right? The whole set for a really low price. You just have to make sure and just find the bundles, the combo,
Yeah.
like me and Miguel got, because the
Trying
combo
to
comes
save
with
enough
everything you
money.
need to start printing. I
Trying
mean,
to save enough money to get a good printer that's not going to be obsolete really fast.
well, any printer you buy eventually is going to be obsolete because they're always
Of
improving
course, yeah.
printers left and right. So even if you buy the most advanced printer, it's like computers. Within a year or
Yeah.
two, it's
Yeah.
going to be
As soon
obsolete
as you walk
because
out of the store with a laptop, it's freaking out of date.
yeah, because they're
Yeah.
advancing. Printers are like the computers; they're advancing so much so fast that
Yeah.
it's always going to be kind of behind the times. Like my most advanced printer I have now is already obsolete compared to some of the new ones I come out with. But if it works for you, then doesn't matter. I mean, if you're not like a lot of them are geared towards printing for businesses, for product, not just home use. Me, I just do home use only. Well, I do home use and like for you guys too, Miguel and stuff, printing, but mainly it's just for fun. I think I was approached one time when I got my channel going. I was approached about doing commission builds, and I was like, no, I'm not doing commission builds. I don't want to be on
No,
someone else's
especially,
timeline.
especially if they hound you and say, "Well, you done yet? You done yet?"
Yeah, no,
Mm.
I did a. I don't know if you guys ever saw my channel. I did a Star Destroyer build, and some guy he texted or emailed me and was like, will you sell that or will you build it for me and I'll pay you? And it's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to build anyone for. I'm not going to do commissions. I don't want to be on someone else's timeline or
No.
uh, or specifications. I do this for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like now if and when I ever retire, maybe I might take up commission building. Maybe then when I have time, but
But
between
yeah,
work
it's
and
not
this,
easy to get yourself into though.
well, no, because I already have a full time job. I don't need another
Yeah,
one.
yeah, no.
I mean, right now
And
I have a full
then, and
time
the thing
job.
is, you always set your goal. Well, I'm gonna get so much done today, and it never gets to that point.
No, I mean,
You know.
I go to bed and I think, okay, tomorrow I get home from work, I'm gonna do this and this and this. Well, if I get one of those things done when I get home, I'm lucky.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah. I hear you.
No.
honestly, after I get home from work, all I want to do is sit down and do nothing. I'm just like tired.
Well, yeah, that's like me. Like I got lots of ideas, and all sitting here, and then I look at my stash, and that's irritating. I tell you, you keep on looking at the stash, and you don't get nothing done.
No, no.
I just keep looking at the stash.
I mean, it took me. Look how long it took me just to figure out what to build next, and it took me forever to figure that part out. And then
Yeah,
I figured it out. And I still haven't started it yet.
yeah. That's like me. Like you get to the body, and you go, well, which one am I going to paint it?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's why I say. I told my wife, as if I was, because she even asked me about it. She said, "Well, would you ever build for money?" And it's like, well, you know, if and when I retire and I'm like doing nothing, then maybe it might be a nice offset for income. But right now, I said I've got so much crap on my plate. I don't have room for
yeah. But the thing
anything
is,
else.
Rick, you gotta consider like if you do it like a client, built for a client, you never get your labor out of it. You'll get maybe $5 an hour. That's that's about it
Yeah,
when it comes to
no,
the labor.
you definitely, because you got to stay. You got to stay in a range where they're going to want you to do it, but you're
Yeah,
always going to take an undercut from what you're actually.
because there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Luke,
Hmm.
and he does all the Warhammer stuff and little figures and whatnot and
Yep.
buildings.
Hmm.
And he does commission builds, but his commission builds are not cheap, and there are people that are
Yeah.
paying him for it.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, how much are
I
they?
don't.
Well, he's asking $20 an hour for just his labor,
Wow.
so figure it out.
Now you see, I would ask for something like that if I was actually designing like a part for a person from scratch.
Yeah,
Then it would be, yeah, you're going to pay for my design time because I'm sitting here at my computer for hours on end designing a part for someone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Then yeah, you're going to be paying me probably about $20 an hour because that's my time.
yeah, yeah.
Now if it's already designed already, then that's a totally different story. That's just printing time. Like no big deal. The printer's all the work. I just sit back and watch it.
You get it figured out, Miguel?
Yeah, I had people approach me, like, I already had it built, and it gave me a ridiculous amount, how much they're going to pay me for it. Go right ahead. I don't care. You want to pay
Yeah,
that kind of money? Meanwhile, it's already built, so I don't care.
yeah. It's something like that. Like I I should have actually done it when the guy asked me. He asked, well, first he asked me if I would sell the model that I built or if I would just make him one. I should have just opted for selling it to him because I have the another kit, the same kit that I was going to rebuild anyway, and I
Yeah.
didn't really think
Yeah,
about it. But
that's your best bet is to sell it outright.
yeah,
But if
I
you
mean,
ever
Same thing with
get
a
into
car.
that, Rick, word of advice, get half the money up front, and then when you're done, get the other half. That way they
yeah,
won't back out of it.
yeah.
Because
No,
I had that happen a couple times.
That's the same issue you're having. I was having with restoring cars. You start restoring a car, and in the middle of restoration, they go, "Oh well, I don't want to do this now. I'll stop doing it." They leave
yeah,
you high
no.
and dry.
I would actually, I took that advice from Trekworks because that's what he does. He asks for a deposit of a client bill first before he starts the build.
Steve, you're muted.
But he does some awesome work, though.
Yes, he does. He does, but he does
I didn't know
because I
that.
asked him. I was asking about building a model kit for me,
That's why
and
Rick didn't answer my question.
what was the question?
I'll just continue on talking. That's all right. I'll get back to you later.
But yeah, he asked me. He told me, he goes, well, this is what I charge up front for a down payment, for a deposit, and it was like half the cost.
Yeah.
Which I said, yeah, I get that. 'Cause
You
that way
gotta
somebody
do it.
backs. Well, that way he
No,
backs out of it. You're not out of money. You made some money out of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other
So you
way
got to
is
buy the
just
kit.
to sell it already built. It's already done.
Yeah,
I
but you
like
got to be
that way
careful.
better.
But you got to be careful with that stuff too. Is the other problem is if you're selling models that have a lot of breakable parts on them, you have to really think about transport and packing because you don't want
Oh
it to get to
yeah,
the
I
client
know.
Oh, it's
broken.
pickup. It's pickup only, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, like say someone bought an Enterprise from me. Well, 10 to 1 says when it gets to the client, it's going to be broken
Oh, of
because
course.
it's the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, pickup is the best option.
Yep.
That way, if it breaks when they pick it up, that's on them, not me.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you broke it.
You
You.
broke it.
Yep.
That's
I
the way to
always,
do it.
anytime I used to sell anything, I guaranteed it 30 minutes or 30 feet, every which one come first.
Oh, you give them the
Like that.
sundown guarantee, right?
I like it.
No.
Steve, what was you asked me
My,
about?
my, my question was, if I drew something up and give you the drawing, what would it cost to build that?
Are we talking about 3D print or?
Yeah, 3D print. Now we're talking something that's probably, like I say, quarter inch by quarter inch by quarter inch or less.
I mean, honestly, if I have the materials, I probably won't really charge anything for it. If you have the
Yeah.
material, if I have the materials.
Well, I'd
for it.
have to have more than one
How many
because
do
it
you
wouldn't be
need?
worth getting one.
Like how
But
many?
no,
Are you talking about?
I've done the Ford Mobius trucks don't come with cab mounts, okay?
Okay.
And I've drew some up and I made some out of resin and they look all right, but there's certain things I can't do of like, I mean, you have to do them after the resin's done and all this stuff. But if it was 3D printed, they'd be all done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can just well, if you want, you have my email. If you want, we can correspond that way. Let me know how many you need, and we can just
Do
go
I
from
have your
there.
email?
I thought you did. Let me.
Just put it in the chat, Rick, because you are a moderator. So
Well, wait
I,
now. I did get emails from some of you guys, and I wasn't really sure who was who.
well,
Um,
I'm
just let me
putting
look.
in
Let
the.
me look at my emails. Maybe they're all gone now. I dumped a whole bunch of them the other day, about 500 of them. So who knows
Go
what's
ahead.
left?
I'll put it in
Well, it's
anyway.
just I didn't know what they were.
Oh,
I'll have to look and see because it might have been a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I have too many emails here.
3.
Too much crap on here.
Okay.
Did you put your emails into the?
So
No,
go.
I can't find it.
So Steve, go over to the private chat side. I stuck my email in there for you.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks.
And actually,
Thank
if
you.
you want, I'm also going to put my phone number in there too. If you
Yeah, I
need
don't need a
to.
phone number.
Okay. If you need it, just let me know. I'll send it to you. But
Okay.
yeah.
See, I see the email and I'm looking at it and I'm saying, no, I know I got that email. Came to me one day. No, but I don't relate his name on the email with anybody on this board that I see.
Gotcha.
okay,
So I'm like
yeah.
looking at it and say, well, I don't know who that person is. Okay, but now I do know. Okay.
Yeah. So just let me know how many you need, and I'll.
Yeah, I'll
We'll
figure something
explore.
out.
Okay. If I don't get back to your email right away, it's because I'm probably at
Oh,
work.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I probably won't send an email for 3 or 4 days or more.
Okay.
Well, I sold some kits to a guy in the States, and I'm trying to go online here and get my postage so he can pay for them. But I want to put the price in what the kits are in value to me in Canadian dollars, so I can insure them. but
Right.
I can't put that volume in because it won't work. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want to get these kits out to the guy so I can get them out of my house and get the money.
There you go. Money's
There's like
good.
eight Johan kits. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
Money,
well,
money, money. Got
well,
any?
not
Money's
a whole
good.
lot, but a few dollars. But I
Yeah,
priced one kit.
I might do that with the Johans I have. I don't
Yeah,
care
well,
for them.
I priced one kit on eBay, and it was like, holy shit, they want $800 for this kit. Are they crazy?
Yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah, but that's eBay. I mean, I
Dude,
don't even. I just look at eBay just once in a while to see what
I'm
price of
still
stuff
mad
is.
at myself for selling all my Tamiya kits. The 1/6 scale motorcycles, they have skyrocketed.
Yeah. Well, how do you know that? You know.
How do
Well,
I
it's just like
know?
just like
What,
Formula cars, John. The same thing.
you see what Seamus paid for his, right?
Hey, Doozer.
The 112 scale
Is there?
No,
Formula One cars.
the
They're like
1/6.
300, $400.
Yeah, and
Wow.
he bought a 1/6 scale Harley police bike.
Print one.
I had the other one, the FLHD,
What?
the black bike,
Huh,
and I sold it.
Classic Power Rangers. That's a good name for us, Dwayne.
Rusty, as far as are you asking? Are you asking if anyone would like to print a chassis?
I see them printing.
Well, he's
bodies.
saying he wish he could print one. So
Yeah, it looks like a chassis. I think that's what he's
Okay.
trying to say.
Chassis would be too hard, huh?
On a resin printer, chassis probably would not be that difficult.
Iceman does it. Iceman.
Yeah.
He
well,
does a lot.
the guy that did the bird
I've seen
cage.
files for bodies, but I don't know how good they're going to work.
But
Well, the guy
Iceman
that
doesn't
did the
do it.
Maserati. That's all.
Iceman
That's
doesn't
all.
do
Yeah,
Iceman
he
doesn't
had
do it.
the guy with the Maserati had to have a high end printer because that stuff looks perfect.
Yeah, I don't know what he had for a printer.
It looks like quite a few parts, Miguel, that you can put on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
seems like it.
Iceman does terrible work in resin.
How big
Gotcha.
how big a piece would that be, Miguel?
The build plate is 130 millimeters.
I got to convert that to inches now.
Well, you're in Canada. How could you need to do that? You got
Well, 130
millimeters.
millimeters is 13 centimeters. So that's quite a
Okay.
large plate.
That's pretty good.
And at 13 centimeters at 2.54 centimeters to an inch.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
That's one of the criteria I was looking at, the build plate size.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford the one that had the bigger bill plate.
Well, I guess it all depends what you're
Yeah,
buying.
that's what Rusty was looking for as a chassis, Rick.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm saving up, Rick. That's why I'm saving.
Was that like
Yeah.
an 8x10 size plate? 5 to
Um,
7 or
It's actually. Hold on a second. I'll show you.
How many millimeters did you say? 130?
Yes.
Oh, 130.
mine-
Well, that's only what, about 1, 2, 3, 4,
show
5
you.
inches?
This is.
Yeah, it's like 5.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Miguel's
roughly.
print bed is bigger than what I've got, but this is the print size, and
Yeah.
that's my
Oh.
size comparison. But that's about the size I have for my.
That looks like something about 4 by 6, maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
you can get
it's
a lot of small parts on there.
5 by
Car
7.
parts?
actually
Yeah.
about the size of a golf cart.
It's 3 1/4 wide, or yeah, and 5.5 in length.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So yeah,
Plus, you can build vertically. You can build
Yeah.
vertically.
yeah. I mean, you can
Well, for
go.
slot cars, he wants a chassis for slot cars, Rusty.
I mean, resin printers. I mean, you definitely get a really nice chassis for a slot car out of it, easy.
I
I
wonder
don't
how
know how well
strong,
you can-
but how strong would that be?
Yeah, I don't think that
For
would
a
be
slot
good
car.
for a slot car.
No.
What strength? I mean, the resin's pretty strong once it cures.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they usually use like metal.
Brass. Yeah, they usually use brass.
Yeah.
You know, brass tubing in that.
Even 10.
Hey, Miguel, Dozer is asking your question in the chat.
Okay.
There we go.
Some of the files that I use are my own, and some of them are ones that I've downloaded.
Like, how do you build a file? Like, how do you take something out of your head and put it into?
Blender. I use Blender 3D modeling software.
Oh yeah, okay, all
Or,
right,
you
I
Tinker,
get
can-
you.
or Tinkercad.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that before.
Yeah. Tinkercad is more friendly, user friendly. It's a little bit simplified. They simplify the process a little bit,
Right.
make it a little bit easier. Blender is used for,
Like
some.
AutoCAD.
Well, it's used for building like game assets and movie assets for like what do you call it, CGI assets and things. I mean, it's
Yeah.
I mean,
more.
you can't use it for 3D printing.
Yeah,
If you go aluminum, Rusty, you don't need to go brass. You use
it's
aluminum.
about 1,000 times more powerful than you need for 3D printing.
Right. Well, yeah. Yeah,
I
it's not
tried
really
using-
worth.
I've tried using Blender, Miguel. I still can't grasp Blender.
Is that very expensive?
It's free.
Free
Oh,
glove.
it's
free.
free.
Yeah, Blender's
Yeah,
free.
it's free, Steve.
So is Tinkercad too. It's all
You
free.
Yeah,
gotta
it's just a
invest the
matter
time,
of
Steve.
spending a
You
few
gotta invest
weeks
the
learning
time.
how to use it.
Well, you
You
can't
gotta
be
invest the
surprised.
time. You gotta invest the time to learn how to do it.
Well, they have a lot. They have a lot of tutorials on the programs too that you can
Right.
follow. That's how I kind of learned how I learned to use Tinkercad the way I do. I googled a bunch of stuff on YouTube and just
Yeah.
like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And then
Yeah, yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, that's easy.
Right.
And once you kind of
Then
get the
you start
basics
playing
down,
with it.
yeah,
Right?
you
Yeah,
start playing with it. And you,
Dwayne has this printed for quite a while, and I don't think he has printed anything on it yet. Those are
Well,
models.
It's not like building models. I haven't built anything. I open a lot of boxes and look at a lot of parts, but
So you haven't built anything, huh, Steve?
no, I haven't. No, I haven't really built anything in a long time.
Okay.
I
The last thing I built was a police car for the police department.
Cool.
I built stuff.
With Rick there. He hasn't built one in a while,
I
too.
built stuff just out in the garage made out of wood.
Yeah,
I haven't built
yeah.
models.
That don't count.
It just do.
I built a fire pit this summer.
No, my stuff don't count. My quarter panel don't count. My freaking the engine I just built, that don't count.
I built
Oh,
things
yeah.
to make my building easier on me.
Well, I built things so I could have something in my pocket.
I think you buy models that are already built, and you say you build them.
Like my greatest invention so far is my sliding out airbrush table.
Yeah, I
love
know.
it. It slides
Yeah.
out to me.
Do you have a little few cold cuts underneath that in case you get hungry?
Not yet, but that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I see you gonna do that.
A little hot plate to keep my coffee
A
warm.
little hot plate. And
There you
I use
go.
it for decals. That's what it is.
Yeah, I got a hot plate for decals.
Yeah,
but Rick
actually,
uses
I
his
do.
for his hot cocoa.
Yeah,
Yes,
it works
my
good.
Yeah, this is my. There's my hot plate.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got the same thing. I use it for decals.
Yeah, it does work good for that.
How you pronounce it.
Yeah, I
For
was gonna get one of
keeping
those
your
too.
coffee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drink so much coffee.
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
a coffee warmer.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
what
I got the-
they call it.
I was gonna put
And
this on top of the coffee warmer. It's a little Pyrex bowl.
Oh,
I
yeah.
put the water and a little bit of soap and put my decals in there. To keep
Yeah,
them
that'll
warm.
work. Well, this
That's
is
it.
this. I bought this at Walmart. It's actually, I don't think it's a coffee warmer. I think it's actually a candle, like a
Yeah.
candle.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, mine
Yeah.
I
too.
tried stealing that from my daughter. She wouldn't let me
I
take
bought
it.
mine at Michael's. I think for $7 or something.
They're cheap.
Yeah, that's
Oh
it.
yeah, that works
They-
good.
They last forever.
Yeah.
As long as you forget,
I bought mine at
remember to turn them
Martin's.
off.
Where? Steve?
I bought mine at Martin's.
Oh, okay. Was that like a
Martin's
craft
is,
store?
it's kind of like what's that place, Aussie's in the States or whatever it's called.
Oily.
Ollie's, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Ollies,
Oh,
Ollies.
Ollie's. Yeah.
Ollie's, okay.
or Aldi or Aldi.
Oh, well, good
Anyway, it's a
Aldi's.
store like that. There's one in Calais, Maine, but of course we can't go across the border now. So
We don't have any of those out here in California. Not the
no,
Aldi's. They're back east in like Baltimore. I used
I've
to
never
shop
heard.
there.
I've
yeah,
never seen an Ollie's.
no, I
It's
never went either.
it's one of those. It's a grocery store, but it's got all the off-brand stuff, and they sell it for super cheap.
Yeah,
That's
some of the
Aldi.
brands are the house
That's
brands
almost like
too.
Giant Tiger that we
Al-
have.
Aldi's is a grocery
Yeah,
store.
Giant Tiger doesn't sell any model kits here though.
Ollie's
No, they
is
used
like
to. They used to.
Big Lots.
Yeah, they used to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We have Big Lots.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
Big Lots
Yeah.
used to be good.
Ollie's is like a Big Lots, but Aldi's is the grocery store.
Okay.
Now Big Lots
we
used
had-
to be good.
Which back east we had both,
Yeah.
Aldi's, and Big Lots. Here
Yeah.
we have Big Lots.
We don't have Aldi's here in Kentucky either, but now when I lived in Indiana, that's where I used to buy grocery stuff at.
Yep.
I
You
bought
can
some-
get a lot of groceries from there for cheap.
Oh yeah.
We
Well,
used
we
to.
got a store here called Save a Lot, which is pretty well the same thing.
You can buy about a month's worth of groceries and spend about half what you would
Yeah.
at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, Aldi's is a good place to buy groceries.
Yeah.
It seems
Martin's
like-
used to be
yeah.
really good too. You used to get stuff really cheap, but last time I was in there, everything was getting up in price, and a lot of it's insurance buyouts and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
But they
Like
sold a
Free.
whole whack of AMT model kits there a couple of years. No, not AMT, Lindbergh model kits a couple of years ago.
yeah, I bought a couple.
Oh,
He doesn't like Lindbergh. Hey,
who
Mobius, to really get him mad.
who doesn't like Lindbergh?
Me.
Rick,
John.
Yeah.
hey,
John.
Mobius, tell him
I don't know.
He'll really get mad then.
Yeah, me and Mobius are not on good terms right about now. They pissed me off.
I don't like AMT.
Although, did I ever show you guys the completion of that one Limber kit, the flying saucer thing I was working on? Did you ever see
Yeah.
the final on it? Okay. I mean that
Yeah, Dwayne is having technical issues with his printer, I think, from what I gather in the chat.
the 3D printer.
Yeah. I don't know if he has a resin printer or he has the other type of printer. Not sure.
I noticed the filament printers are more prone to technical issues than the resin printers.
Yeah, he's had it for quite a while.
Really?
I don't know for how long, but
Yeah.
quite a while.
There's
The
more
FDM?
because FDM printers have more working and moving parts than your resin printers. Resin printers
okay.
only have a z-axis. Basically, it just goes up and down, up and down. That's all it does.
Right.
Filament printer, you have X, Y, and Z axis. So you have stepper motors with 3 different movable angles.
Okay.
More to go wrong with. You have belts. And
Is that
tensioners.
the one with the bed moves while you're trying to make the part or something, or
Well, the
arm
bed
moves?
moves. Yeah, the bed moves 2 directions, back and forth. But then the cross rail moves up, down, and also well, no, it just moves up and down, and then your bed moves. I'm sorry, the crossbar moves up, down, left, and right. The bed moves back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So in combination is what makes the different angle movements. But it's 3 different motors with belts, and they're more prone for wearing. And if debris gets caught in there inside the belt or the rollers, then it binds up, and then you start having issues with your printing because then the printer's not moving freely the way it should.
Yeah, I saw it that you had to feed the line and through the head or something like that.
Yeah,
And that's
you-
different with the resin printer. You don't have to do it that way.
No,
I think
resin.
I-
You just pour it in the vat and hit
Yeah,
start.
the way it goes, yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So it's
Oh,
less
my
work
God.
than more work.
I
I
see your
saw-
printers.
I saw Uncle Jesse talking about why Z wobble. I think he was talking about too
Yeah.
much Z wobble.
Yeah, that's yeah. There's you have to be careful because these different axes they have to run smoothly, otherwise it's going to translate into your print.
I probably asked this before, Rick, but is that resin very strong?
You mean the parts when they come out?
No, the resin that you pour in it is it
Yeah.
a real strong smell?
Yes, it is a really strong smell. I have to wear a mask when I pour the resin. It is such
What,
a.
what about the plant-based version?
I don't know. I never used that one. I just
So it
used the
wouldn't be
regular.
recommended. It wouldn't be recommended for somebody like me then.
I would say probably not, but if you
Not
did,
to
I
stay in
would
the
definitely
same
wear a
room.
respirator and be in a well ventilated room. You do not want
Yeah.
to breathe that crap in.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, if you need something printed resin for your models, though,
Well,
let me know and I'll
that's
print
like
it
if
for you.
you're,
All
that's
right.
the same as if you're sanding a
Appreciate it.
resin body, same
No worries.
thing. You know, you
Yeah,
have to have a
exactly.
mask.
Well, yeah,
Like that, so,
with resin too. That's another thing. You, if you're sanding on resin parts, you have to wear a mask because you don't want that resin dust to get up and breathe in your
Oh
lungs.
yeah.
So again, everything you do with a resin printer should be in a well ventilated room or
Yeah.
some kind of like an intake where it can pull in particulates.
right.
But like I said, if you need something for your models, Terry, just let me know.
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Like wheels and stuff would be super easy to do. I mean, Ernie's worked really well. I had those printed
Yeah.
up, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ernie is not here. He's probably working or something.
Probably. Hey, has anyone? Oh, hey, Blue Streak. Has anyone heard from or heard about um, the name? Oh God, the person I forgot the guy's name now. The one that his daughter
Zink?
was.
Zink.
Oh, you talking about Rick
Oh,
Zink?
Rick Zink.
Yes, Rick
Zink.
Rick
Zink.
Zink?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I've
Right.
not heard nothing.
No.
I wonder how
He's
he's doing.
probably going to their funeral right now.
Yeah, I mean, God, that's. I know he's going through
From
hell.
what I heard, she had both shots.
Yeah, I
That's what I can't
yeah.
understand. Like right now, we're getting all these shots, and there's still people getting infected, which I don't understand. Like, how's that
65,
possible?
Yeah.
65+% is
a
going
lot
to the
of-
hospital.
And a lot of them around here is getting blood clots is what's killing them. Either
Yeah.
getting a blood clot to their brain or to their lungs or to their heart, and that's what's causing it. But they say it's the shot that's giving the blood clot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yep.
They tell you to take the shot. What is that? So it slowly kills you, or what?
It's an mRNA
Speaking of-
vaccine. It's not a normal vaccine.
Well, it still doesn't prevent you from getting the disease.
I understand,
No.
but this is
No,
not
but
fake.
it doesn't prevent you.
Ernie's in the chat room.
Yeah.
They're
So
not putting something in your body that they made from a virus. They're doing it made from cells, another cell. This is
So-
totally different.
off the beaten subject real fast. Blue Streak says the resin he uses has no smell to it.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
Might be the plant based.
It might be. Yeah, I've never used it, but it might be.
Yeah, I just looked at it because I'm doing research for it.
Okay. Now, Blue Streak?
Oh,
How does
here's
the
Ernie. He's in the chat now.
Yeah. I saw
Alright.
City just coming in the chat room.
Oh,
There you go. What's up,
now Blue
Ernie?
Streak? The resin that has no smell how does it print? Does it print good, or is there any problems with that?
Oh,
I'm curious.
well,
'Cause they make a water soluble
oh,
resin too.
it's water resin.
Okay. I used water soluble once, but I don't know, I didn't have. I had some issues with it, so I just went back to my normal.
I'm doing pretty good, Ernie. Thanks for asking.
Are you off today, Ernie?
no, he was just doing yard work. That's what he was
Oh, he says
saying.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what it says.
cool. Well, there you go, Terry. There's,
Yeah.
There's a way out.
yeah.
Well, guys, I gotta close up because I got supper coming my way. I got my son now,
All
so.
right.
All right.
Well,
It's good to see everybody
well,
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
okay.
try-
See you guys.
we'll
I'll
try
be
to
in
make a
touch,
long
Rick.
next time.
Yeah. Miguel, keep us posted on the 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miguel, if you need any
See you guys.
assistance with anything, give
See
me a
everybody on
call.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Talk
Thanks.
to you later.
You bet.
I'm gonna
All
print something
Good
right
luck.
now. So.
Bye, guys.
Good
Okay.
luck, man.
See you guys. All right. Thanks, Rick.
Later.
Later.